When I was in junior high and high school, I knew exactly who I was. While my interests did shift a bit, I maintained my core as an enthusiastic member of the band, a mock trial attorney, and an honor roll student. A vast majority of my time was dedicated to these activities, such that my life, and thus my identity, were defined by them. I realize now that that should have been the other way around. I should have chosen activities based on my identity, picked ways to spend my time that would allow me to explore who I was and what I wanted to become. I mean, really, it was dumb for me to define myself by my resume. Anybody could have done the same activities I had done and be a totally different person. Anyway, when I went to college, I wasn't able to participate in the same activities anymore, and that was an intense shock to the system. This huge marching band community didn't exist with the band program at my college. I couldn't join mock trial and instead played ultimate frisbee, which I was frustratingly bad at. And everyone worked hard at my college, so getting on the honor roll was near impossible. My life was drastically different, and in ways I really did not like. I was left lost and ultimately unhappy. I'd always been told that college was a great opportunity to reinvent yourself, but I hadn't wanted to, and now I was being forced to change. This next year I'll be transitioning again, spending a semester in Scotland and then a semester in Rhode Island. And during this time, I'm going to have to redefine myself again. I've got 2 months till that happens, and that means 2 months to find a more stable foundation for my sense of self. I've started doing that by pinning down some of my characteristics and thinking about how I try to present myself, both online and in person. Online, there are 2 social media sites that I use regularly, and each tell a different story of who I am. On Tumblr, I'm usually very serious and very involved with social justice issues, but there are some times that I dabble in One Direction fandom. On Facebook, I'm really silly, carefree, and outgoing. This disparity would be fine, except that I too often treat each site as a full explanation of myself. I curate my identity on each of these sites daily, so if I message somebody new or if I gain a new follower, I go online and I go through my profile to see what it would look like from an outsider's perspective. Meaning I'm constantly judging who I am based on what I've posted, a really one-dimensional way to see myself. I do like things to be quantifiable and laid out in front of me, but myself is not something that I can fit into an online profile. I need to hold myself as something more complex than just a collage of my interests. Part of it is that I interact with some people solely via one of these sites, so I want to present the best impression possible. Plus, at times, I do review other people solely based off of one of their internet profiles. When I present myself in person, I also want to give the best impression possible, so my clothes and my appearance suddenly become surprisingly important. When I met the Vlogbrothers at last year's LeakyCon, I felt totally fine wearing the squid hat, because I knew they would get the joke and wouldn't look down on me for wearing it. But at VidCon, I was meeting a totally diverse group of people, and I didn't know how they would react. I wanted their first and perhaps only impressions of me to be favorable. This is a little embarrassing to admit, but yeah, I was a little self-conscious to wear it at VidCon. So I didn't, and as you saw from the pictures, I just carried it around. I've always been told that who you are is inside, that it's your heart that matters. But obviously I've had a little bit of trouble actually living that out. I think I need to stop identifying myself by external factors. I need to find a new core so that I'm not so freaked out when everything around me changes. I can totally see me looking back and cringing at this video. But future self, it's been really valuable to be able to work through and articulate what I've been thinking about. So whatever, be embarrassed. Carpe diem, yo.